On a lazy afternoon, Max and Lily were sprawled on the porch, scrolling through an old hard drive like it was a hidden treasure chest. They stumbled on a huge, bulky file titled Adventures Around the World, 2 hours, which immediately sparked their curiosity. After hitting play, they realized half an hour later they had enough incredible material for a dozen short clips. But the immediate problem was who has the time to manually chop, tag, caption, and post all that footage. That massive headache is exactly where a tool like Vizard quietly stepped in and saved the entire day. Okay, let me give you a quick confession. I used to absolutely dread the tedious process of cleaning up my long-form footage. If you are a creator, you know the painful drill. Record a killer long piece, then spend what feels like endless hours combing through it just to find the 1 or 2 minutes that will actually pop off on social media. It is truly tedious work, and honestly, the time sink completely kills any forward momentum you might have for growth. So, when I finally found a tool that could actually handle the heavy lifting while still letting me keep full creative control, I got genuinely and immediately excited. My name is Daniel. I spend all my time messing around with video and content growth strategies. And today I want to walk you through exactly how you can turn that chunky, long video into a steady, sustainable stream of viral-ready clips without losing your sanity. First key thing to understand is that Vizard isn't trying to be every single creative tool in the entire universe, which is precisely the point of its focused design. It automatically scans your long video content to find the most inherently shareable moments, and then transforms those into short clips that are basically ready to post right away. You can seriously think of this as having a specialized editor that actually understands what type of content makes people stop scrolling and pay attention. You upload your long video, the artificial intelligence analyzes it completely, and then it highlights the specific parts that are statistically most likely to perform well, like punchy moments, emotional beats, jokes, or anything with a noticeable spike in audience attention. It's genuinely like having an incredibly dedicated junior editor who is completely obsessed with achieving virality for every single segment. Now, of course, you can absolutely do all of this manually by using transcripts, scrubbing through your footage, meticulously marking timestamps, exporting, and finally polishing everything up. However, approaching it that way is fundamentally like trying to solve every single household problem by using only a hammer, which is obviously inefficient. Vizard transforms that difficult process into something that is essentially one-click easy, yet it thoughtfully preserves your ability to tweak and refine every single result. The system auto-generates the initial clips, suggests captions that make sense, and it even provides you with several distinct thumbnail ideas right out of the box. If you decide you want to change the exact clip length, rephrase the suggested caption to better match your voice, or swap out that one frame for the thumbnail, you're always completely free to do exactly that. The AI handles all the monotonous grunt work for you, but critically, you always retain the absolute final say over the published product. Now, if you've been around the content creation block and used a few tools in this particular space, you've probably encountered the unavoidable trade-offs between functionality and simplicity. Some platforms are fantastic at trimming and cutting, but offer zero help when it comes to actual distribution, leaving you with a giant folder full of clips and absolutely nowhere obvious to post them. Other tools are basically sophisticated scheduling systems that just expect you to come to them already armed with perfectly polished, finalized content ready to go. And then there are those massive, expensive software suites that promise you the moon and the stars, but require you to basically get a PhD in onboarding just to figure out where the buttons are. Vizard expertly sits right in that sweet spot. It actually creates those post-ready clips for you and provides built-in mechanisms to get them out the door without any of that unnecessary suffering. One of my absolute favorite features is something they call auto-schedule, which is a game changer for consistency. You simply tell the system how often you want content to go live. Let's say 3 times every week, and Vizard will automatically post those clips based on the cadence you set for yourself. This means you never have to babysit individual upload windows or manually queue content across every single platform like you used to. It's not magic, although it feels like it sometimes. It's just genuinely smart automation that staggers and spaces your content, so you aren't blowing up your audience all at once or accidentally going totally dark for weeks on end. When you couple that automatic posting with the content calendar view, you suddenly gain a clean, high-level overview of your entire production pipeline. You can clearly see what content is queued up, what is currently live, and exactly where each individual clip has landed across the different channels. You can drag and drop to easily move things around, add internal notes to collaborators, tweak captions, or change posting times, all with just a couple of quick clicks. For solo creators or even small teams, this functionality transforms potential chaos into a truly manageable and sustainable rhythm for growth. I personally used to maintain endless spreadsheets and constantly lost track of different versions, but now everything I need is neatly lined up and accessible in one singular, central location. The core promise of auto-editing viral clips is something that, to be perfectly honest, it delivers on in a way that feels almost suspiciously convenient for the user. For instance, when Max and Lily's massive Adventures Around the World video was finally uploaded, Vizard pulled out absolute little gems like that funny sandcastle gag, a surprise gasp when a dolphin popped up, or a quiet, meaningful line about counting stars. Each one of those moments was turned into a perfect 15 to 60-second clip, complete with suggested captions and relevant tags ready to deploy. Some of the resulting clips were straight exports, while others cleverly got an automatic vertical crop applied along with a tiny speed ramp, so the moment landed with much harder impact for vertical viewers on mobile feeds. You always maintain the power to accept everything the AI suggests, reject anything you don't personally like, or make those final minor refinements before publishing. Ultimately, it feels like having an incredibly intuitive assistant who already understands your specific personal style and brand preferences. It is really important to be perfectly clear here. No artificial intelligence model currently created is ever going to be completely flawless, so you absolutely still need to be supervising the output. The entire Vizard workflow is deliberately designed around that crucial concept. It's meant to be collaborative between human and machine, not authoritarian in its execution. The platform makes very smart initial picks, but you actively help it learn by consistently giving feedback on which specific clips really worked well or which ones unfortunately fell flat. Over time, the system genuinely gets better at understanding the unique nuances of your brand and recognizing the exact kinds of moments that resonate most deeply with your specific audience base. A few practical notes for you. Shorter clips historically tend to perform significantly better across platforms like Reels and Shorts, and Vizard naturally nudges you towards those highly effective sweet spots. It also intelligently knows how to handle embedding captions cleanly onto the video, meaning you are completely spared from having to do manual subtitling for every single clip you produce. And yes, I have to mention that the automatic thumbnail suggestions are surprisingly spot on, which is a massive deal because clickable, attention-grabbing visuals still absolutely rule the social media algorithms. I'll be completely real with you. There are definitely other tools out there that can handle bits of this process very well, but they usually only do one thing. Some editing AIs will produce very nice, clean cuts, but they won't touch the scheduling or distribution aspect of your content strategy whatsoever. Conversely, some scheduling platforms handle the actual posting sequence beautifully, but they have an inherent expectation that you will come to them with fully polished, platform-ready assets already created. Vizard's distinct advantage is seamlessly stitching those critical pieces together in a cohesive workflow that genuinely feels both natural and incredibly fast to execute. Another common pain point I've experienced with other services is their often complicated pricing structure, where they charge premium rates for every single extra feature or additional team seat you might need. With Vizard, the entire workflow is thoughtfully designed to scale alongside your actual needs without ever turning into a sudden budget black hole that swallows all your cash. Crucially, you never have to choose between having a great editing tool or having a great scheduling tool. You actually get both integrated in a way that is immediately usable. What I personally appreciate the most is how truly hands-off the system can become, without ever feeling completely passive or robotic. You absolutely retain your core creative agency. You can rename clips, rewrite captions to perfectly match your unique voice, drop in a preferred branded intro bumper, or adjust those critical thumbnail frames. But the upside is that you never have to feel chained to that editing timeline for hours and hours every single day, which is a massive time saver for creators aiming for cross-platform growth. Let me give you a little behind-the-scenes peek at how I actually utilized it myself. I uploaded the long adventures file, let Vizard process everything, and then I just skimmed through the suggested clips and accepted the ones that truly hit the mark for me. I took a few minutes to edit specific captions to sound more authentically like my casual, slightly cheeky personal tone, and then I scheduled the release cadence to twice a week, so we could logically stretch that entire adventure series over a full month. The content calendar immediately displayed those slots, and I easily swapped a couple of the planned publishers around with a simple drag-and-drop maneuver. When one particular clip started getting significant traction, I immediately used that positive engagement data to prioritize similar emotional moments from the remainder of the raw footage. The AI seemed to genuinely pick up on that positive feedback, and it subsequently started surfacing more of those emotionally strong and high-impact bits in the subsequent analysis runs. If you are currently thinking, all right, but what about maintaining consistent branding and visual identity across all these clips? Vizard offers excellent help in that area as well. You can preset preferred caption styles, set the system to auto-insert your personal handle or a subtle watermark on every export, and maintain a very consistent thumbnail format so your clips become instantly recognizable. That overall continuity across your entire feed matters much more than many creators initially realize when they are actively trying to build a strong, recognizable channel identity. And here is undeniably the best part for absolute beginners. You genuinely do not need to be a tech wizard or an expert to master this system. You never have to go learn professional software like Premiere, desperately hunt for obscure subtitle options, or wrestle with the unique upload quirks of every single social platform imaginable. Vizard's fundamental promise is to make the entire, often painful, process of content, repurposing incredibly low effort while simultaneously maximizing your impact on the audience. It's designed not to replace your innate creativity, but rather to serve as a powerful amplifier that scales your best ideas faster than ever before. So the final takeaway is this. If you are sitting on a huge backlog of underutilized long videos, or you simply want to turn one single recording session into weeks of consistent social content, Vizard is the exact kind of tool that finally makes that entire strategy practical. It is undeniably fast, it's genuinely smart about recognizing virality signals, and it puts your entire distribution strategy on autopilot without ever locking you out of essential creative decision-making. Max and Lily successfully got their entire fantastic adventure distilled into bite-sized, engaging memories that fit perfectly into people's fast-moving feeds. And that porch? It's still cozy, just with significantly fewer editing nightmares for everyone involved. If you are curious right now, I strongly encourage you to try uploading just one long video and see what truly amazing highlights the system pulls out for your review. Just remember not to let the AI run totally wild on its first attempt. Make sure you carefully check its pics, tweak the tone of the captions, and schedule a posting frequency that actually matches your current weekly capacity. You are honestly going to be surprised by just how much forward momentum a single, well-recorded session can create when it is properly sliced and strategically scheduled the right way. Stick around on this channel if you want to see a detailed walkthrough of my exact personal workflow and all the specific settings I use for cadence, captions, and thumbnails, so the final clips feel authentically from me, not some random auto-editor.